Hello, one and all. Here's Paul Scorpion. Some of you may know me as a healer and a teacher of healing, and also as an explorer of sacred lands. And I'm an American living in Germany for the last 27 years, and before that I lived on the island of Cyprus and studied with one of the greatest healers and mystics of recent times, Dascalos. And in about 6 weeks, a little over 6 weeks, I hope to be boarding a flight that'll take me from Munich to Istanbul, and from Istanbul to Ufra. Why? Because I'm off on a trip, which I've done now for the last couple of years, to a place which is mind-boggling. It's called, it's a number of places actually. It's a number of temple complexes which have been discovered in the last, let's say, 26, 27 years. The first one to be discovered and excavated to some extent is Göbeklitepe. Okay, and Göbeklitepe was discovered actually in 1960, but not until Klaus Schmidt, a German archaeologist, rediscovered it and started to do a dig there, has turned everything that we know, has changed the whole concept of human development, both in archaeology and also in spirituality and in basically human history. Why? Because it's carbon dated to be at least 12,000 years old, if not 12,800 years old, going way, way back, much older than most of the older monuments that we know about, including the pyramids of Giza, Stonehenge, and others, which are in their infancy compared to Göbeklitepe. And they discovered also that there are probably at least 11 other sites surrounding Göbeklitepe, including one that they've started to dig out called Karahan Tepe, which is about 40, 60 kilometers away from Göbeklitepe. And it is also extraordinary. And it's a whole different bird than Göbeklitepe, but it has a lot of similarities, and they have a very strong connection to each other. And the tour that I offer now twice a year has us flying into Ufra and staying in a hotel in Ufra. Ufra is a city where you stay if you want to visit these sites. And it's also called the City of the Prophets because there you have the birthplace of Abraham, and also a grave for the long-suffering Saint Job. Yeah. And it's also an ancient city, one of the oldest cities in the world, actually. And the hotel that I have for us booked is a 400-year-old Armenian monastery, which has been converted into a middle-class hotel right in the heart of Ufra, so that we can actually walk to places like the souk, the marketplace, also to visit Papa Abraham, and also to go to the museum there by foot. And the tour goes over 9 days, and it's taking place over Easter, because Easter is a time of renewal, of rebirth. You know, it's also a time, according to the Christian calendar, of a crucifixion. And basically, what we know is that the world's going through a crucifixion right now. And a lot of us fear crucifixions, but on the other hand, you have to remember that something has to pass away in order for something to be reborn, or a new birth to take place. And these temple complexes are a mystery to us, both because we don't know who built them, how they built them, and what they were used for. There's a lot of speculation. Of course there is, because it's such a mystery. I mean, all the other temple complexes around the world, we know who built them, and we have records of why they built them, and even what gods were venerated there. This is not the case with Göbeklitepe and the 11 other temple complexes at all. So it's very humbling to go there, and it's awe-inspiring to go there, because basically if you fly, like I do, from Munich to Istanbul and then onwards over about 7 hours, on that day you can be standing on the precipice of a temple complex like Göbeklitepe, which is, like I just mentioned, over 12,500 years old. And it's hard to bridge these two things together, but it's very important. So I planned this trip. It's a special trip. It's going to be a very small, exclusive group. The tour is very exclusive. It's not particularly expensive. We have our own bus and our own guide. And we will then, over this course of 9 days, visit as many temple complexes as we're allowed to. Some of them are still under the earth, but the energy is there. You can feel it. And also make a visit to a couple of other places, including Gaziantep, where they have the largest mosaic museum in the world. And my personal belief is that when they continue to dig out these 12 complexes, here they are. I have a new web page built up for it. Here they are dispersed. Yeah. And when they free these from the earth, I think there's something amazing that's going to happen to the world. I think that this is a temple complex. These temple complexes belong to all of us and to no one. Okay? And the mystery behind them is extraordinary, because not only are they built up out of these columns, which are enormous and finely chiseled animals, some mythological and some actual, carved into the side of them, but the design of these complexes always include 2 major columns in the middle. And my personal belief, it has something to do with the creative forces of creation. The balance between the absolute masculine force that runs through creation, along with the absolute feminine force which runs through creation. That's the impression I get after being there for the last 6 years and making multiple visits to these sites. So I'd like to invite you to come along with us and take part in this 9-day trip. It runs from the 29th of March, which is Good Friday, all the way through the Easter calendar until the 7th of April, 2024. You can find out more on the website, and about how, if you need any help with flights, I'd be happy to help you if you're flying from Copenhagen, or from Vienna, or from Berlin, or from Frankfurt, or from London. Then most of the flights take place, first you have to land in Istanbul, one of the 2 airports, and then continue on the same day to reach Ufra. I can arrange transfers to the hotel from the airport, and I promise you, if you're at home in spirituality or mysticism, or just curious about human history and about what we've been doing for the last let's say 15,000 years, and what that means to the message behind the 12 temple complexes, could be vital to our future. So if you're a researcher or an explorer, I would be glad to guide you to these sites and to spend time with you there. The nice thing about our groups is that we take the time we need. Because we have 9 days to do this, we can spend as much time at one temple complex or the other, and even make multiple visits to a single complex if need be. Okay, so the trips are very individualized, and there'll be time for shopping, there'll be time for good food, there'll be time for relaxing, but you will experience something that you probably have never experienced before. I can tell you that. And I've been all over the world. I've lived in many different countries. I've been to a lot of temples in India, in Tibet, in Egypt, on the Greek islands. And I've never experienced anything like this in my life, and I doubt I will. And I just just, I personally have the desire to be there as much as possible, because I do think that there's a secret buried under the ground and partly dug out. 5% of Göbeklitepe has been excavated. 5% of Karahan Tepe, and each one of these complexes are over 8 to 9 hectares large. And all of them are over 10,000 years old, okay? So please come along. If you can't make it in Easter, which is a very symbolic time, very powerful time to make a trip there, then the next trip that I offer will be next November. All right. Take care and thank you for listening. And peace out.